Live from KHOU 11, your news starts now.
The White House releases video of the embattled Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro in custody as Venezuela shifts power. What's next as Maduro faces his first U.S. court appearance? From protests to celebrations, the world responds to Maduro's arrest, the divided reaction following the leader's fall. And Texans fans are fired up after a big win over the Colts. We're taking you live to NRG for that celebration. This afternoon, we're continuing to follow major developments out of Venezuela. U.S. military airstrikes hit the capital, followed by the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Both are now in U.S. custody, facing federal charges in New York as Venezuela transitions to an interim leader and tensions continue to rise across the nation. Here's the latest. The White House posted this video overnight showing what appears to be Nicolas Maduro arriving in federal custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He had been indicted by a federal grand jury on narco-terrorism charges and drug trafficking charges. He and his wife are expected to make their first court appearance in Manhattan federal court tomorrow. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has been named interim president. She and other officials there have condemned Maduro's removal and are demanding the United States return him. President Trump has defended the operation, warning there could be consequences if Venezuela's new leadership does not cooperate. And this morning, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. does not plan to govern Venezuela day to day, but will continue to enforce sanctions, including measures targeting the country's oil industry. Our team coverage continues this afternoon with the very latest on Maduro and the future of Venezuela's government, plus what this could mean for oil and energy here in Texas. Natalie Brand shares the latest from Florida.
Nicolas Maduro and his wife remain at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center Sunday ahead of their expected arraignment Monday on drug trafficking and narco-terrorism related charges. New satellite images show damage in Caracas, Venezuela, following the U.S. military operation overnight Saturday, which targeted military facilities and captured Maduro. In a televised statement, Venezuela's defense minister said a large part of Maduro's security team was killed in the raid, with the country's vice president sworn in as the interim leader.
But we are going to judge moving forward. We're going to judge everything by what they do, and we're going to see what they do.
Well, President Trump said on Saturday the U.S. would temporarily run Venezuela. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Sunday didn't offer many more details of how exactly that will work.
So just to be clear, there is no plan for U.S. occupation of this country of nearly 30 million people.
Well, I think, first of all, the president always retains optionality on anything and on all of these matters. He certainly has the ability and the right under the Constitution of the United States to act against imminent and urgent threats against the country.
The administration also says it will be focused on rebuilding oil infrastructure in Venezuela. Democrats accuse the administration of prioritizing that over stability and keeping lawmakers in the dark.
Let's let my Republican colleagues enjoy their day of euphoria, but they're going to wake up tomorrow morning knowing, my God, there is no plan here any more than there was in Afghanistan, Iraq, or in Libya.
In Venezuela, there are reports of a tense calm over the country, with people lining up outside of stores this weekend to stock up on supplies amid the uncertainty. Natalie Brand, CBS News, West Palm Beach.
Thank you. All of this comes as the Trump administration has stepped up pressure on Venezuela's oil industry over the past few weeks, including the seizure of sanctioned oil tankers off the coast of Venezuela. Just last month, U.S. authorities seized 2 in the Caribbean and chased a third, all linked to sanction-evading oil shipping. Now, with Maduro in custody and Secretary of State Marco Rubio tightening oil sanctions, KHOU 11's Trayson Bragg spoke with energy expert Ed Hurst about what this could mean for U.S. oil markets and your wallet.
Well, the short answer is no. Venezuela is much less of the exporter. It used to export up to 2 million barrels a day. Now it's down about 500,000 barrels a day. Most of that oil was destined either for Cuba or for China. China's been supporting the Venezuelan oil patch for the last, through the Chavez and Maduro regimes. It's not going to have an impact in the global market. Keep in mind, President Trump met with MBS of Saudi Arabia a couple of months ago. Certainly this operation has been planning stages since then. The Saudis have up to 2 million barrels a day of spare capacity, and I'm certain that President Trump didn't want to have any impact, any negative impact on the global oil market by going in and taking over Venezuela.
If we do see an impact, right? Let's just say our gas prices start to go down. What does that mean for Texas-based refineries?
Well, for those refineries that process these heavy crudes, it's really not going to change. It just means that gasoline prices will be a little less expensive. It'll have an impact for our Canadian suppliers. We get up to 4 million barrels a day of heavy crude from Canada. The lower oil price, if it settles down lower, as it has been, it's been less than $60 a barrel for the last couple of months, is going to have a real impact on the West Texas oil patch, the Permian Basin. The U.S. is the high-cost producer in the global oil market. These shale wells are expensive. When you drill a 3-mile lateral, that's a lot of steel. The costs have gone up because of the Trump tariff regime, and the revenue line has gone down because of the price declines. The price of oil fell from $80-odd a barrel in January of 25 to now less than $60 a barrel. That's a huge profit impact on U.S. producers. The U.S. producers are getting squeezed from the top and the bottom. That, of course, has a very negative impact on Texas in terms of employment and economic activity.
Tonight, reaction is pouring in from around the world, with some praising Maduro's capture and others criticizing U.S. military action in Venezuela. Here at home, protesters gathered in Austin chanting "No war on Venezuela," with similar demonstrations in Brooklyn, just outside the jail where Maduro is being held. Meanwhile, celebrations erupted in Atlanta and Colombia as people mark Maduro's removal from office, calling it a relief.
A Venezuelan will never feel happy about someone else's misfortune, but the feeling of happiness we feel today is incredible. Because of our country is somehow breathing the air of freedom today.
The president does not have the right to take unilateral military action against another country and detain its president. Because it wants to. To take military action against another country, you need approval from Congress, and we did not see that happen. So we're out here to say this is illegal, that we're against what the Trump administration is trying to do, and that we don't want another war.
And here in Houston, emotions ran high on both sides. In Katy, supporters waved Venezuelan and U.S. flags, holding signs backing opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, celebrating her movement and Maduro's removal. Across town at the Galleria, protesters called for no war on Venezuela, criticizing President Trump's actions. We'll have more from both rallies tonight on our newscast at 10:30. And be sure to stay with us on air and online for continuing coverage. We also have President Trump's full address from yesterday morning streaming right now on KHOU 11+. Tonight, we're learning new details after a Metro bus was rear-ended and flipped off an overpass near Highway 288. According to Metro, all 15 people involved in the crash are now safe and out of danger with no life-threatening injuries. Officials tell us 14 people were on the bus and most were able to get out on their own. As for the driver who hit the bus, they're said to be in critical condition but stable. For now, the bus will stay out of service while investigators examine the wreck and video from on board that bus. Well, tonight the Texans are on a roll after a huge home victory with a 38-30 win over the Colts. Houston is now on a 9-game winning streak and officially headed to the playoffs. Here to break down what this victory means for the team and when they'll know who they face next is Zach Tawatari. Zach, an exciting day to be a Texans fan.
Cheryl, an exciting season. The Texans' regular season turnaround now complete, from 0-3 to finishing out at 12-5 in the midst, as you said, of a 9-game winning streak. And now we know exactly where they will be seated heading into the playoffs. But first, Houston wrapping up the regular season Sunday with a 38-30 win over the Colts, again getting to 12 regular season wins. And now their wild card playoff opponent comes into focus. We know that it's going to be the 5th seed for Houston, and they'll face either the Ravens or Steelers, who play each other tonight in Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football. Now, either of those games will be on the road, so we will be waiting to see tonight who the Texans will get and when they will play in that first round next weekend.
Exciting times for sure for the Texans. Thank you so much, Zach. Speaking of, fans are thrilled by today's win and now even more excited for the playoffs. Orko Manna is live outside NRG Stadium right now. Orko, what are fans like and what are they saying out there?
Well, Cheryl, even though the Texans already secured a playoff spot, fans out here told me that they still wanted a win today to end the regular season off with a bang, and that's what they got, and now they're hoping for a string of victories during the playoffs. Now, fans of all ages headed to NRG Stadium earlier this afternoon to watch the Texans take on the Indianapolis Colts. A bunch of other fans gathered outside for some tailgating and caught the matchup on TV screens set up under different tents. They had drinks in hand and smiles on their faces, just so proud of today's victory. Now, looking ahead to the playoffs, we asked fans what they're expecting to see.
With the playoffs, man, anything is possible. With this team, I know the offensive line been struggling, but that defense, we definitely, I believe we have a championship defense for sure.
My big hope is that when we're in the playoffs, that we're going to make a deep run and go to the Super Bowl. We deserve that.
How cool would it be if the Texans went to the Super Bowl?
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Oh, the city would love it. We've been wanting that for so long. We need a championship here in football. Yeah.
Now, so many of the people we spoke with have been Texans fans since 2002, and some of them were Oilers fans from before that, so they're hungry for a shot at the Super Bowl. The Texans have never made it to the Super Bowl or even the AFC Championship game, but fans here are hoping that that happens this year. Reporting live from outside NRG Stadium tonight, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News. Cheryl, back to you.
No doubt they'll be watching every game until then to know who they're playing, and that excitement is not going anywhere. Super excited for the Texans, Orko. Thank you. And if you're streaming with us right now, don't miss our sports team's complete breakdown of today's matchup against the Colts. We've got full post-game reaction from head coach D'Amico Ryans and quarterback CJ Stroud, streaming right here on KHOU 11+. Turning now to the weather, it has been a chilly end of the week, but hey, we're getting another gorgeous sunset over Herman Park to wrap it up. All right, meteorologist Pat Kaplan joins us now. And Pat, hey, can this heat stay away just a little bit longer?
No, the heat's going to come back. So today was a great day. We actually came in below, or actually we came in just above normal, but it was a really cool day. Temperatures actually stayed below 70 degrees, but yeah, we do start to see a warming trend for this week. Really pretty shot right now, looking out towards Seawall Boulevard, Murdoch's, Pleasure Pier, 58 degrees right now on the island, so definitely a chill out there. Beautiful shot here from the top of the KHOU 11 World Headquarters in the Galleria. We're looking to the west, pretty sky there. The sun is down now, 66 degrees, a little bit warmer farther inland right now. Mid 60s for a lot of areas, couple of upper 50s though to the east and also down to the coast. On average, we're pretty close to where we were this time yesterday, except for the coastal spots. You're coming in about 10 degrees cooler. Pretty shot though out towards Herman Park, the Med Center. There it is, 68 degrees in the books today, so just a little bit above normal. Our average for this time of year is 63, but we woke up pretty much exactly where we should be this time of year in the mid 40s today. Sunset tonight was just under 10 minutes ago. Tonight we can see some patchy fog across the area as warmer air starts to move in. That will be the trend as we get into the upcoming week before our next cold front comes in Thursday into Friday. So here's the fog future track for you. It's not going to be for everyone, but I think some areas, especially north of the city, could see some visibilities drop below a half a mile by the time we get into tomorrow morning. That burns off fast and we're back to sunshine for the afternoon. So chilly again tonight, upper 40s, low 50s with that fog for a couple spots in the morning. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, a little bit warmer in the mid 70s, and then we'll make a run at 80 degrees as we get into Tuesday. Again, fog to start in the morning with sunshine by the afternoon. There's your planner for the rest of the evening. Temperatures drop back Again, upper 40s just after midnight. I think we actually bump back into the low 50s by sunrise, and that's where more fog will start to come in as some warmer air begins to filter into the area. Here's future track again. There's the fog on the map. You can see the gray shading there that indicates the cloudy weather, the fog at the lower levels. That all burns off by the afternoon. Temperatures again make a run into the mid, maybe even upper 70s. Then we get you into Tuesday morning, same deal, clouds, bit of fog. Temperatures though are going to be warmer, low 80s for your high temperatures. Your 6 p.m. temperature will be in the mid 70s, but we should top out around 82 for the afternoon. We will stay dry for Monday and Tuesday. In fact, we don't see another rain chance again until Thursday and then Friday as our next weather maker comes in. This will be a Pacific system, so it's not pulling in any Arctic air from Canada, but it will bring a pretty big cool down to the area as we get towards Thursday and Friday, and it'll also bring the chance for a couple showers and storms through the area. And I have had to add those rain chances in for Friday. Yesterday we just had it kind of focused on Thursday, but it looks like Friday we could see a couple storms in play as well. Watch the numbers though. We stay above normal in the 70s and 80s through Friday. Behind that front though, 50s and 60s for high temperatures for the weekend getting into the start of next week, which is actually where we should be for this time of year, if not a few degrees cooler. And that's just in time for the marathon as well on Sunday. 47 on the Heights tonight, 46 for 3rd Ward. Same for Tomball, Aldine, 45 at Tascasita. We'll do 50 in Sugar Land, 46 for Conroe, 58 for Galveston, 49 for Liberty. And again, on the 7-day forecast, warm weather is on the way. 82 your high temperature Tuesday and Wednesday with the mix of sunshine and clouds. Few isolated showers possible with more humidity coming in Thursday ahead of that front. We'll do 78 for Friday, and then that front could bring maybe a couple of showers and storms to the area. Behind it, we drop down to 60 as your high temperature Saturday. And then all eyes on Marathon Day, Sunday, high temperatures staying in the low 60s. Cheryl?
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Pat. Well, this week, the first criminal trial connected to the Robb Elementary School shooting will get underway. Authorities in Corpus Christi are stepping up security for the jury selection in the case against former Uvalde CISD police officer Adrian Gonzalez, which begins tomorrow. Gonzalez was indicted on 29 felony counts of abandoning or endangering a child stemming from the May 24, 2022 shooting that left 19 students and 2 teachers dead. Prosecutors say he failed to engage the teen gunman. We'll have gavel-to-gavel coverage of the trial right here on KHOU 11+. You can stream it any time of the day. Now to a story that's got a lot of you clicking online. Amazon is mailing out checks to some customers as part of a $1.5 billion settlement with the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC accused Amazon of tricking users into signing up for Prime and making it hard to cancel. Checks started going out in November, with the final batch mailed December 24th. To find out how much eligible customers could receive and more about the settlement, head to KHOU.com. Thank you so much for joining us here for our digital newscast at 5:30. We'll have much more for you tonight on TV. We're here a little bit later at 10:30. See you then.